Two people your age, same city, same starting point. One of them has $10,000 saved. The other has nothing, not because they earn less, but because they never figured out where to start. Strip away everything the internet tells you about making money, and there are only four real paths to that first $10,000. Not 40, not 100, four. And once you see them clearly, you'll realize most people fail simply because they pick the wrong one to start with. Here's why that number matters more than it sounds like it should. Not because of what it buys, because of what it proves. That making money isn't luck, it's a skill. And once you've done it once, you can do it again. And again. Until it turns into something bigger. Most people never get there. Not because they aren't capable, because they start in the wrong place. They chase crypto because a friend got lucky. They try day trading because someone online made it look easy. Both of those need money you don't have yet, and luck you can't count on. They're not a starting point. At best, they're a tool for later, after you already have something to multiply. So let's go through all four, one at a time. Path 1. Your time, sold locally. Dog walking. Deliveries. Personal training. Haircuts. Filming events. These sound too simple to matter, which is exactly why most people skip past them. But they're some of the fastest money you can make, because you get paid the same day you do the work. No website, no logo, no waiting. Just a skill, a few tools, and someone nearby willing to pay for it. The limit is obvious, though. You can only be in one place doing one job for one person at a time. Some weeks are full, others are empty. It gets you moving, but it doesn't scale. Path 2. Things you make, sold locally. Baked goods. Handmade crafts. Something built with your hands and sold to people nearby. It's rewarding in a different way, but it's slow. Unlike a service where the money lands the moment the job is done, a product takes time to build and time to sell. And often, most of what you earn goes right back into materials, leaving less than you'd expect for the hours put in. It can work. It's just rarely fast. Path 3. Things you make, sold to the whole world. A clothing line. A product you manufacture. Something with no local ceiling because anyone, anywhere, can buy it. The upside is real. A much bigger audience than your own neighborhood. The catch is that most of your early profit doesn't stay in your pocket. It goes straight back into more inventory. Sell 10, buy 20, sell those, buy 40. The cash keeps moving, but it rarely sits still long enough to feel like progress. Not for the first few months, at least. Push through that stretch, though, and it can become one of the most passive paths on this list. Path 4. Your skills, sold to the whole world. Writing, editing video, designing, managing social accounts, running ads. This is the one path that didn't really exist a generation ago, and it's the one worth paying the most attention to now. Here's why. It combines the best part of local services, getting paid quickly, with the best part of global products, no ceiling on who can hire you. A product might leave you with 20 or 30% margin after costs. A skill, sold as a service, can leave you with 70 or 80%, straight into your pocket, starting on day one. If speed is what you need, this is the path. So the real question becomes, which skill? Ask yourself 3 things. What are you actually good at? What do you enjoy learning about? What do businesses consistently struggle with? The answer worth chasing sits where all 3 overlap. Most people get stuck right here, spending months trying to perfect a skill before ever offering it to anyone. That's backwards. Price yourself below the market at first. The goal isn't to charge the most, it's to earn and learn at the same time. But having a skill is only the beginning. What separates someone stuck charging $50 an hour from someone charging thousands comes down to 4 things. The first is where you position yourself. Not all clients are equal. A business making $50,000 a month doesn't blink at spending $2,000 to fix a real problem, because that problem is costing them customers, or sales, or attention. Individuals think in expenses. Businesses think in returns. The same skill, aimed at the right kind of client, is worth a completely different amount of money. The second is what you charge for. time, or results. Charge by the hour, and a client will always want fewer of your hours. Charge based on what you actually deliver. More leads, more sales, more growth. And suddenly the conversation isn't about cost anymore. It's about return. That single shift changes what people are willing to pay. The third is how people find you. Most beginners spend all their energy chasing clients. The better move is making yourself visible enough that clients start chasing you. Post your work publicly, even before anyone's paying for it. Show the before and after. Show the results. You never know who's watching, or when they'll come back needing exactly what you do. The fourth is the one almost everyone underestimates: reliability. Most people who try to freelance or build a small business don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they miss deadlines, go quiet, and become impossible to rely on. The people who end up getting paid the most, again and again, usually aren't the most talented in the room. They're the ones who show up, communicate clearly, and never make a client chase them for an update. Master all four: position, leverage, reach, reliability, and a simple skill turns into a serious income. But here's the part almost nobody talks about. The first $10,000 isn't the finish line, it's the unlock. Because income and wealth are not the same thing. Income is what comes in. Wealth is what you keep and grow. Spend everything you make, and it doesn't matter how much you earn, you'll stay exactly where you started. So picture 4 tiers, from safest to riskiest, for turning income into something that lasts. Tier 1. A place for your cash to sit safely, earning a little interest while staying easy to access. It won't make you rich. That's not the point. It's what stops you from having to sell everything else at the worst possible moment, the moment an emergency shows up uninvited. Tier 2. Broad market index funds. Instead of betting on one company, you own a small slice of hundreds of them at once. It's about as close to boring but proven as investing gets. Steady, low maintenance, and historically one of the most reliable ways regular people have built wealth over decades, not overnight. Tier 3. Individual companies. Riskier, more hands-on, and for many people the first time investing actually starts to feel real. Because you're paying attention to one business instead of an entire market. It can teach you more than any course, but it also means more ups and more downs. Tier 4. The newest, most volatile tier. Digital assets. High potential, high risk, and not something to approach with money you can't afford to lose. Small, steady exposure, built slowly over time, tends to age far better than chasing a single lucky spike. None of this is a promise. Every tier carries risk, and nothing here replaces doing your own research or talking to someone qualified before making a decision with real money on the line. 4 paths. One of them is fast, one of them scales. All of them work if you pick the one that actually fits where you're starting from. Remember those 2 people from the start. The difference between them was never talent, or luck, or where they were born. It was one decision: which of these 4 paths they picked first, and whether they stuck with it long enough to matter. The first $10,000 was never about the number, it's the proof. Proof that you can create money on purpose, more than once. Everything after that, the second 10,000, the 100th, is just repetition, at a bigger scale. If this changed how you think about your own first 10,000, subscribe. Every week, we break down exactly how income turns into wealth, one decision at a time. Which of the 4 paths would you actually start with? Say it in the comments. Next week, we go deep on whichever one comes up the most.